Amazingly, this isn't the biggest grille that BMW sells. You might be wondering, what in God's name is this car? Great question. This is the XM. That's right, it's a standalone M model, the first since like the 1970s, and it's a giant SUV, but with a lot of power. Some might say a ton of power. This thing is pretty crazy. I'm gonna take you around the exterior, the interior. I'm gonna show you the engine. We're gonna listen to how it sounds, because I think it's gonna be pretty wild. And I'm gonna tell you everything you need to know about the new XM, just like you need to know about our channel sponsor, Driver. If you guys need the absolute best financing deals, click the link below in the comment section or the pinned comment, and there you'll be able to compare the best loan deals for you, and every set of loan gets a $150 fuel card. Help the channel, help me, help yourself. Let's get into the review. Here's the thing about the XM. When you're spending about $300,000, as this one is at its entry level, you're gonna want a pretty ostentatious car. It's kind of like the Lamborghini Urus. You're not gonna get one in like poo brown, right? You're gonna get it in ultra metallic orange. And so yes, this thing does have a gold accents all around it across this pretty massive kidney grille, but again, it's not really the biggest out there. I really like the way that this thing looks. This isn't even one of the cases of, oh, it looks good in person. This thing looks like a concept car that they've actually gone through and come through with something that looks like the concept. I think that's awesome. You got your split headlight design here. This is for their fancier models, and you can tell that because it just looks pretty fancy. You've got heaps of functional aero, because this thing does have an enormous engine, and it's also got a battery pack, because this is a plug-in hybrid. And we'll come back to the engine, but the stats of this thing are off the charts. You've got the BMW badge here, you've got this kind of double scooped hood there, and it's all very short and sharp and just kind of cuts off. Again, it looks super duper cool, but check out the rest of the car. What I think you can't really appreciate through the video is just how big this thing is. It's huge. It's about the size of an X7, but when you hear about how quick this thing is and how much it weighs, it's almost terrifying. But let's take a look at the side. So coming to the side, there's quite a lot going on. You've got these 23-inch wheels here. These are a no-cost option, and as you can see, they're wrapped in like this gold color, and that comes across the side as well. That's standard. You can option it as like a gloss black if you think that's a bit too outlandish, but I don't know, I kind of like it. If you're spending 300 grand, I suppose you want people to know about it, right? You've got the XM badge here. Again, super exciting, because this is the first dedicated M model from BMW since like the 1970s. Mirrors here are pretty cool. You've got the classic M swoop to the side, make it more aerodynamic, which this thing kind of needs to be, because it's well over 2 tons. It's like close to 3 tons in weight. It's quite fascinating, one might say. Back here, you've got some really tinted privacy glass, and these door handles are super interesting. They've got this really strange pattern to them. I don't know, I kind of like it, but wait till you see the back. Okay, so as you can see, we're a bit space limited here, so apologies for the changing camera angles, but what you're gonna notice here is that it's been debadged, and that's a factory thing. In fact, that's across all XMs, because they want this to be more about the XM than the BMW brand, which is super interesting. You've got actually the BMW brand up in the corners of the windscreen. That is absolutely wild. Interesting design choice, but I kind of like it. You've also got these tinted rear lights here, again, like it's got some sort of black package direct from the factory. And you'll see down here a pretty meaty diffuser, and where you would kind of expect the exhaust to be, as you can see, they're like that. They're vertically stacked. And yes, this thing does sound pretty amazing, even as a plug-in hybrid vehicle. Take a listen. Okay, so coming into the interior of the XM. Now, when you're spending 300 grand, you want 300 grand of luxury. Let me tell you, right? And you kind of get it. If only you could feel your olfactory senses through a YouTube video. This thing smells like a luxury Italian handbag. No offense, Germany. But it smells so good in here, I almost want to eat it. It's like walking into a Versace store. You've got this like old-time leather here, and apparently it's all unique. It's all unique to every BMW, so they're all gonna have slightly different patterns to them because of the type of leather. Otherwise, of course, it is merino leather. Everything feels super soft. These seats, oh, you could almost fall asleep in them. Don't do that at the wheel. That is bad. Speaking of, steering wheel is so nice. It's an M steering wheel, so it's nice and fat. You've got your M buttons here to kind of change through the different modes. You do have, of course, iDrive 8, and it is all touchscreen, or you can use the iDrive controller down here. Again, we'll test this out more in depth when we actually do a full review of this, but it works like every other BMW operating system, i.e. it's pretty much the best out there. You've got this like matte carbon fiber here, which is really nice. I love the choice of materials, from this to the headliner, which, by the way, it's going to be hard to see on the camera, but this is all like, I don't even know how to describe it. I would describe it as parametric. It's like you've got mountainous regions above your head. It's pretty cool. I like the M shifter here. This does come with the 8-speed torque converter. It's a ZF unit. Again, we'll have to take this for a drive when it's not pre-production like we're sitting in here now. I've heard from BMW that this is one of the earlier production cars as well. But I mean, sitting here right now, it feels really complete. I would be very happy driving off in this car and going to my home, which no doubt would be in the most expensive suburbs of Melbourne, if you can afford one of these things. Let's talk about the back seats. Let me tell you, if your parents are going to be driving you to school in one of these cars, you would be the luckiest child in the world, because it is like a lounge back here. And that is what they were actually going for. That's what they described it to me as. And it feels like a lounge. This is my normal driving position, and I have just loads of space. As I said, this thing is pretty much as big as an X7 without the third row. So yeah, it all translates to the back seats. It is so nice. You have this really nice leather here as well. You've also got some of the nicest design with this leather in the back, that old school type, and you've got the merino leather there. You of course have your 4 zones of climate control, because each side has its own, and heated seats in the back as well. Tablet holders here if you've got those smelly little children that desire that. And you've also got a couple of map pockets, of course, 2 USB chargers and a 12-volt socket with some more storage. Unbelievably nice. I like it so much. Oh, check this out. Center armrest, a couple of cup holders there. Yeah, it's nothing too special, but my gosh, it is so nice. I cannot stress that enough. And check out the lighting effects as well. So this is a bit of a jank way to do it, but if we just use this control up here, interior lighting, take a look at the roof. Oh, that is insane. We can also do things like change the color. Let's say we want turquoise, right? We want some turquoise. Let's increase the background light. That is insane. And the accent lighting as well. I feel like I'm in a cozy space shuttle. That's what it feels like. Let's check out the boot space. Okay, so coming to the back, we have a powered tailgate. That's pretty cool. You don't get the most amount of space though, and that's because the battery pack actually lives underneath the boot floor. So it is raised up, but it's still a pretty decent amount of space. And check this out. You also get a carry case for your charging cable. Okay, so here's the main part of the show, and that is the engine. Now I'm holding my phone here because frankly, I suck with remembering numbers and I have a bit of stage fright. Okay, I do. So let's talk about what this insane 4.4 litre V8 puts out. I actually knew that already. So yes, this is a twin turbocharged 4.4 litre V8. On its own, it puts out 360 kilowatt of power and 650 newton meters of torque, but it's not on its own, is it, Monique? Monique, my girlfriend, is filming today. Thank you very much, Monique. Say hello.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. As I said, this thing weighs close to 3 tons, and there's a reason behind that, not just because it's so opulent on the interior and it's absolutely massive, but also because it's got a battery pack, almost 25 kilowatt hours, and that means that this thing is a plug-in hybrid with a claimed range of about 80 to 88 kilometers, which is actually quite impressive if it can achieve that. But when you combine the electric motor and the engine, this thing puts out 480 kilowatt of power, 800 newton meters of torque. And there's actually going to be an even more powerful version called Label Red, or Red Label, one of the two. And that will put out 550 kilowatt of power, 1,000 newton meters of torque. But as it stands, it competes with cars like the Lamborghini Urus in terms of its raw output. Don't know how you go once the battery is depleted and you're just using the normal engine, but I'm sure it has its own smart little systems like Toyota, which gives it little bursts of energy when you need it. Super duper impressive, and that will catapult this thing to 0 to 100 in about 4.3 seconds. That's what BMW claims, and BMW often underestimates exactly how quick this thing will be. So I reckon we'll see under 4 seconds. But again, subscribe so you can watch the full review when it comes out, because we will be testing that. Okay, so that's it, the BMW XM. Super exciting. I cannot wait to drive this on the road. And again, make sure you subscribe because this will be launching very, very soon. Comment down below, what do you think of the XM? Is it on your shopping list? And if so, what do you do for a living and how can I do it? Like the video as well, helps the channel out, and click over there if you want to get finance for your next car, and click over there to watch another one of our videos, including the M2, which we've just walked around as well. Very exciting. Okay, thank you very much. Ciao for now.